Yeah, what's up? You got your boy A here, $8. You know, 1/3 of Blazing Bars. See it? Yeah, so we're gonna get into this Kodak Black interview on Hot 97, Ebro in the morning. And I kind of just want to talk about a topic that I touched earlier on IG Live. So listen, follow us on Blades and Bars, Blades _and _bars. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Definitely want to hear more. If you got some topics that you want us to discuss, let us know in the comments, and we'll kind of get it going for you. And we want to hear what y'all got to say. So let's go ahead and dive in. So earlier I touched on how Ebro kind of started the actual interview off with bad energy, I would say, right? Because anytime that you say to someone, hey, yeah, I really didn't want to do this interview, so to speak. I saw you do interviews with masks on, so I really wasn't interested in doing the interview, but basically here we are. So that's not verbatim, but that's pretty much in a nutshell of how he came across. And that's bad in the beginning because, especially when someone is a lot younger, or in general, when you start a conversation off with somebody, which I do on a daily basis when I'm talking to somebody one-on-one or in a group, you can't actually start a conversation off with bad energy. You can't do that because now you shutting them down, everyone else around, or the person you're talking to one-on-one, and they're not going to be receptive. They're not going to be open to what you have to say. They're not going to take that feedback or the criticism that you provide well. Or just the conversation in general is not going to be something that is had that's being had going to be taken well. So I feel like off rip, that's where it went wrong. And I think Ebro had the right to ask that question, but it was the manner in which he said it, and I think he should have just spoke on it and kept it going, because sexual assault is a serious matter. And that whole Me Too movement, we got to protect our women at all costs. We got to believe them right up front. So it's a very serious matter. But I think it's always the right time, right place for everything. And like I said, I think they started off the interview real wrong. But I was watching Everyday Struggle, and it kind of made me want to come back on and kind of really touch base because I was watching Tory Lanez on Everyday Struggle, which by the way was a great interview. And so I think I kind of wanted to just revisit this because him as an artist can speak on what he think that Kodak Black really felt. And I also feel like when you watch any other Ebro in the morning interviews, they're excited when they have somebody on that they really like or really want to hear from or stuff like that, right? Artists that they like, enjoy their music and have a lot to say. I think if you watch any of their interviews, right, they're excited, real excited when they're introducing the person. So when they introduced Kodak Black, it wasn't that same excitement. The energy in the room was totally different. And the only person to me that really kind of knew his music was Peter Rosenberg. Now, maybe his interns did a lot of research and was able to give him songs, stuff like that he could talk about. But I believe that Peter Rosenberg was very genuine in terms of talking about his like for Kodak Black's music, so to speak, right? And he also referenced a song with XXXTentaction that he did with Kodak Black. So to me, it looks like the perception is that he really listens to Kodak Black music from time to time. So, and Ebro actually had to print out the words to his songs and was kind of shocked that he had more hits than he expected. So I could tell that Ebro really didn't care for his music, or him for that matter, too much. And I think that's where it kind of went wrong. But I want to kind of dive into where Tory Lanez was talking about it. So let's take a look at it.
Go ahead. All right, man. So
let's show it in the middle talk.
Ebro in the morning, and yeah, so Ebro was pressing him about his sexual assault case that's pending. Kodak definitely got very upset and walked out. Let's take a look at the footage.
You seem upset that I brought it up.
I feel like...
Let me stop you right there real quick. Now you saw all their faces. That was the shock value face. I want to see what he gonna say. I definitely believe that only look. If you look at the headlines for the whole interview, it was awkward moment. Kodak Black walks out of interview. That made everybody want to go see why Kodak Black walked out the interview. You ask that question, knowing he can't say much about the case. It's an open case. He can't even speak about it. But if he did, then it would have been, the headline would have been Kodak Black opens up about his sexual assault case, and everybody and their mother would have ran to see what he said about the case. But let's continue to see what Tory Lanez said.
Sometimes when niggas like be going through shit, like y'all be entertained by bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So it's like change the subject. I'm finna walk out.
I think we don't have to talk about nothing else. We could be done right here.
All right, I'm gone.
That was Ebro's pride. We ain't gotta talk about nothing else. We could be done right here. That's his pride talking. And as someone that's interviewing somebody, you can't have your pride in the way. It's not about you. It's about them. And I feel like Ebro allowed his pride as a man get in the way because it was who you think you talking to. You can't be talking to me like that. This is my house, my radio station. You should be happy that you up here. And that's the approach that I felt that Ebro took with that, because in a simple fact that Ebro even walked outside after the man and said, "What did you say?" After he said, "F your show." He continued to walk out in the office. So that's your pride getting in the way. But let's see what Tory Lanez got to say, and I won't stop it no more, I promise.
All right, so he said something important. Do you guys feel like that a lot? I get it. As a rapper, you
Bro,
are
I just want to go on
entertainer in
file. I
general.
want to go on file like, yo, Ebro, I love you to death, like as a guy. But this was the truest form of some real bitch ass nigga shit, dog. This was the truest form of some bitch ass nigga shit. Like on your part, Ebro. I told you was trying to create a. On Ebro's part, this was the most bitch ass nigga shit I've ever seen him do, my nigga. And it's honestly, it's just off the fact that it's like, dog, like. It's the difference between ratings and a nigga's fucking freedom, my nigga. You're asking this guy about a case that he's going through right now, my nigga.
And being standoff.
And then it's like, yo, you're trying to antagonize the nigga. The thing about it is, like, yo, let's all think about Kodak for a second, right? Let's just all really take this into perspective, right? Do we really know Kodak for being a very intellectual? No, that was my biggest. Nah, for real. Don't know that at all. Do we know Kodak for being a nigga who's gonna sit there and have an hour conversation with you like how we're having right now? Do we know Kodak for doing that, or do we know Kodak for being minimal words? I'll say a couple things. I might say some real saucy shit, and I'm out, my nigga. I'm not in y'all niggas' way. I ain't bothering nobody, nigga. I'm dealing with my shit. Leave me alone. Right. That's how we kind of view him. So what were you at this point? What were you trying to get out this nigga? And what were you trying to get him to say? Like, yeah, you know, yeah, I'm dealing with a... What did you want him to say at that point? But you knew he had nothing to say. Right. That's what makes it some bitch-ass nigga shit. Because it's like, bro, Ebro, you were trying to get the ratings for the show, my nigga. And it just wasn't... It didn't call for
My
that,
biggest
nigga.
problem with that is that...
It did. So you set him up for that, my nigga.
They would only try new artists like that. You know, respectfully, there's other...
Listen, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, I feel like they knew that if he addressed that on their platform, people would run to their platform. And to me, like, Tory Lanez has a great point. What could he say? He couldn't say nothing. You knew he couldn't say nothing. And to me, it was just if I was Ebro, my opinion, my next question would have said, I would have said, listen, and I'm not Ebro, but if I was Ebro, I would definitely have said, hey, listen, I'm going to ask you this question before we even start, right? You could choose not to answer it, but just know I'm going to ask you the question, and you can, you know, go about it the way, you know, so you're not caught off guard. I feel like he caught him off guard a little bit. So, excuse me. So, you know, in a sense, I feel like Ebro had a chance to say, listen, You have a case. We're not going to really talk about it too much, but hopefully, you know, whatever the outcome is, because he has to be held accountable for whatever happened, right? Whatever the outcome is, if you're not in jail, then maybe you can come back on our show and we kind of talk about it. And let's just go straight to the music. Because throughout the whole entire time, they didn't really deep dive into the reason why he was there, which was to talk about the music that he has coming out. And I think, you know, what Academics is about to say is very important.
It's within the space that's facing some of the same either charges or allegations, or just even other stuff with.
But then I also feel
and older artists, he's not coming out like that.
I'm only gonna go out and maybe me and Ebro could talk about this when we see each other, dog. But I also, and I'm gonna go on file. I don't know, like I just feel like I don't feel like, and maybe you do take, you know, sexual whatever that serious, bro. But I think in this very moment, it's not that you took fucking sexual assault that serious and you wanted to fucking touch on sexual assault. You wanted to put this nigga in a headline to say some stupid shit that could have got the nigga fucked up, my nigga. And luckily, dog, shout out to Kodak for being a smart nigga and just saying, yo, before somebody in my fucking legal case takes this or whatever I say and they use this against me in the court of law and I gotta go behind bars for some time and Ebro's not gonna give a fuck about me, before that happens, my nigga, I'm gonna get the fuck out the station, my nigga. You feel me? But for an artist, like I said, it's the young nigga, old nigga complex, bro. It's like, don't come at niggas like that, dog. If you wanted to talk about that, do what you did before this and say, yo, listen, before we go in, I want to talk about XYZ. This I know this is a legal matter, my nigga, but before I say it, I want you to know that I'm gonna say it. Even if you were gonna say it regardless, be a real nigga with the nigga and say, yo, I'm telling you right now, because this is what I would have did. If I was Ebro and I knew I was gonna say it, I'd just had to tell a nigga, like, yo, straight up, like, I'm gonna ask this question at some point, my nigga. So either have an answer, my nigga, or just be prepared to shush the question.
Get away from it.
You get what I'm saying? I would have said that, but I just want to go on file saying that even when I saw this video, nothing about it read like, yo, Ebro, you're right. Nothing about it read like, yo, yeah, dog, after this, I want to stand for sexual, whatever the fucking cases you're talking about because you made me feel like that. It didn't make me feel like that, bro. It didn't make me feel like your point was any more right than whatever you were trying to get out of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ebro has a history of doing this, though. Like, when a younger rapper comes, he'll try to almost play him in a low-key way that he would not do to a veteran. Like you know, and I hate to have...
I don't think it's just that. I think he does that. I think he does that to people that I don't think he respects. Like...
At the end of the day, we definitely know that Ebro will try new artists. He doesn't really, you know, if he doesn't really like you, or he doesn't really like your music, he's not really respecting you, and that's very true, right? Tory Lanez made a great point. If it's not someone he respects or admires, he doesn't give them that respect off rip. He doesn't. And it's showed more than one time, right? So, excuse me. So at the end of the day, man, I was killing that ginger ale. Oh my God. But at the end of the day, you know, Ebro got to be able to be held accountable of his actions as well. And I know he really didn't mean any ill intent behind it. You know, it wasn't a malicious move question. But if you're going to talk about that, then definitely switch it directly to the music in which why he's there. And just say, hey, listen, you know, I touch bases on the question. It's my response. It's me being responsible as a hip hop station, not a journalist, but to ask these tough questions. And I understand he had to ask that question, but then, or he had to mention it, but then go right to the music because you know that you can't really talk about it because it's an open case. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just my take on it. My whole little 1-2 on that joint. You feel me? So, listen, man. Continue to watch Blazing Bars. Follow us on IG at blaze_and_bars. You heard? It's your boy A Dollar, 1 and 2, 1/3 of Blazing Bars. And I appreciate you. So, Check me out. I'm out.